Hey, Tank.
What's up, my friend? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, very good. Excited to get this thing going and talk about some new changes.
Excellent. I believe we'll have a lot of questions for you, so I hope you're ready.
I hope so. I'm all about the questions. Questions are better. I don't like to listen to myself talk all the time, so it's good to hear some questions from the community.
Perfect. It is 10 p.m., 7 p.m. Pacific. Let's go, bud.
Let's go. Well, thank you everybody for coming in. I really appreciate it. It's awesome. We got 57 people in the room already, 58. It's going up. So that's great. Super excited to talk about the tokenomics of the project and the things that we're doing and the issue that we found and part of the reason why we had to make the adjustment with our mints. So I guess let's jump right into that. I think there's a couple issues that I want to go over and talk about the two issues that were discovered that could have created problems for some of our smaller holders. So the first issue, which is not really a problem with small holders, was the issue with how our team bulls are minted within the guilds. So we had a discrepancy between our FAQ and the tokenomics on our website. And there was a couple questions that came up about whether the teen bull, when it's minted, will be of the same guild as the OG bulls that you're holding in your wallet. And the answer to that question is no. It is a random choice when it's minted. So even if you have two OG bulls, let's say in the northern guild, because we're calling the guilds by direction, so we've got north, south, east, and west, it's possible that you could end up minting a teen bull from the Western Guild. So it's a random selection, just like if you've got two brown-haired people and they have a baby and it's blonde-haired, you never know what you're going to get. So that's kind of the fun behind the minting of the teen bulls, is that you're not going to necessarily be able to determine exactly the teen bull you have until you get through the mint. And that's going to make it a little bit more fun with collecting your god bulls, minting your teen bulls, and then having to play the game to get the needed teen bulls, one from each guild, and then an additional to mint the god bull. So that was the first correction that we had, was to confirm that it would be a random selection. The biggest issue that we had, that we found, hold on a sec here. I think Guy said something about the camera. I don't know if we have camera ability with only 25, right? No. Okay, sorry.
No.
Yeah.
No camera in the stage channel.
Yep. So the biggest issue that we found was with the merger orbs. So as we were researching the project and talking about tokenomics, and I will say that the last space that we had in this room last week is actually what kind of spurred the digging into of the game theory and the tokenomics of the project. We found that there was a backdoor, a loophole with the merger orbs. And what had happened was, as a team, we determined to utilize initially 500 merge orbs. It's now 490 because we're going to be minting 10 god bulls in the initial collection. But we would have 490 merger orbs that would turn into 490 god bulls. And that seemed like a great solution, the same amount of merge orbs as you need for the god bulls. The problem was that the only criteria to obtain a merger orb was to have a single teen bull in your wallet, and then sacrifice that teen bull with an additional 2,400 tokens. And that was it to acquire a merger orb. So in a gameplay scenario, it would have been possible for somebody that had multiple bulls generating multiple tokens could accumulate only merger orbs without playing the rest of the game and having to acquire all the teens and having to acquire and then mint the gods to actually stockpile those merger orbs, with a guarantee that one merger orb would eventually turn into one god bull. And that was the backdoor that we found that gave an uneven edge to somebody that held a large number of bulls. So our solution, which I think was pretty creative because it's creating a couple of different dynamics, our solution to this issue is we're actually going to produce more merger orbs now. So instead of only having 490 merger orbs in the game, we're going to actually have 1,490 merger orbs. So now you can still collect the merger orbs, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee you that you're going to be able to mint a God Bowl, because there's more merger orbs than there are God Bowls. So that's the adjustment that we made to make it a little bit more fair, to force the larger holders to thoroughly play the game, acquire all the teens, and spend the full token amounts that are within the game to get to that God Bowl. And it spreads that time out a little bit more and gives the smaller holders a chance to catch up and try to get to that God Bowl as well. So that was the solution that we had, and that's the exciting solution. Now the question may be, okay, great. So you're creating 1,490 merger orbs. You're only burning 490. What's going to happen with these 1,000 merger orbs that are going to be sitting in people's wallets? I could say TBD, to be determined. But knowing this project and knowing our founders, I would hold on to them if I was you. So there could be some value there, and it'll be fun to see where the project goes. So that's where we're at with that. I can answer some questions. Let's jump into some questions and dig into it a little bit more if you guys want.
I think you can keep going for a few minutes.
Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and talk about the token counts and requirements for getting through the game, since we've talked about the actual issue that we found, the loophole. So in our tokenomics on the website, we talk about the requirements of the tokens needed to play the game. So 600 tokens are going to be your initial requirement to acquire an incubator. And that's going to be after your 31 days. Of course, the bulls are grazing for that first 30 days. And once we hit day 31, you'll be able to go into our website to execute the transaction to have those tokens then dropped into your wallet. Once you've collected the 600 tokens, those can then be converted into a teen bull with or into an incubator. And then once you have the incubator with an additional 600 tokens, you can acquire a teen bull. So 1,200 tokens is what you'll be required to actually obtain the teen bull. Once you've acquired that one teen bull, you'll need 5 total teen bulls in order to get to the point of acquiring the God Bull. Your 5 teen bulls 4 of them need to be from different guilds, and then 1 can be from a common guild. The one from a common guild will be the one that's used to mint the merger orb with an additional 2,400 tokens. Then with your 4 unique teen bulls from different guilds and your merger orb, an additional 4,800 tokens, you then can mint the God Bull. The total token count required to go through this process is 13,200. So you can do the calculations based on what you think you're going to be minting as far as the number of God Bulls, and that can give you an idea of the time frame it can take to get to the point of being able to mint the God Bull. Now, I've had a number of questions, DMs sent to me with people saying, well, hey, I'm only going to be able to have 1 God Bull or maybe 2 God Bulls, maybe even just 4. I don't see how I'm going to be able to get having an OG Bull. I don't see how I'm going to be able to get to a God Bull. And I understand that it takes 2 God Bulls from every guild to actually play the game thoroughly and get to this point. But there's also other situations that may help you go acquire the OG Bulls and then still be able to get the things you need to get to the God Bull. And that could be the open market. We don't know what's going to happen once people actually start obtaining the incubators and the tokens, the merger orbs. So there's a potential that those teen bulls and incubators and merger orbs could be available on the secondary market to help you through that gameplay. So you don't necessarily need to have all the OG bulls in your wallet. There's a potential that you could actually do it through the secondary market. There's also value in just holding a bull or 2 bulls. You're still earning the tokens. Every day from day number 1, you're earning 10 tokens per day per bull. And those tokens are going to be utilized through this project for other aspects of the game and things that the team is putting together. So you've heard the team talk about live your best life and doing in real life events. They've talked about the card game that they're developing. Those are all things that the tokens will be able to be utilized for within the gameplay. So there is still value with holding 1 or 2 bulls. You don't need to have 8 bulls, 2 in each guild, to be able to get to that God Bull. There's still a lot of value within the game, and there's a lot of opportunity for even the smallest holders. Cool. Do we have any questions?
We do not have any more questions. We do not have any questions. I asked in general if people. Oh, will the incubators or merger orbs come into play with the apes in future mints? I'm not too sure. Yep.
So that's a very good question. So the incubators will not, because you will need every incubator in order to mint the team bull. So the incubators will be required to actually get the team bull. As far as the merger orbs, now that we've increased to 1,000 additional merger orbs, it's possible. Nothing is impossible in this game. So I would just say that anything that we mint in this process could be used in the future. I'll say it that way. So, we're not throwing anything away. There's always a value with everything that we're minting and what you're holding, whether it be on the secondary market or within the gameplay itself. So to answer the question, that yes, it's very possible.
Thank you. That was a good explanation. Is the daily meth token accumulation per OG Bull still 10 meth tokens a day?
10 meth tokens per day from the initial mint. So starting on day 1, you'll gain 10 meth tokens per day. Also, keep in mind that the God Bulls, once you acquire the God Bulls are generating 20 tokens per day. So the God Bulls are generating more tokens.
Perfect. So nothing has changed on that front.
Nothing has changed. And then the founders had also talked about, just to drop a little more information, it had been mentioned in, I think, one of our Twitter spaces, that once we get to mint 2 and we mint the apes, that the apes will have a multiplier effect on the OG bulls. That's still to be determined, but that's going to be an exciting aspect of the game as well. So you very well could hold an ape in your wallet along with an OG bull, and you could have a multiplying effect to that 10 meth token per day earnings that you're earning. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works out too.
Cool. This is an interesting question here. Will meth as a token be tradable between players/holders?
So there are no plans to do any internal platform trading, meaning within the game itself. But it doesn't mean that token's not going to be traded on the secondary market. The token is an ERC20 token. There are no plans for liquidity pools for the project to establish, but that doesn't mean that an individual holder doesn't decide sometime in the future to create a liquidity pool and then have these tokens available in the open market. So in that case, those tokens would have a monetary value and could be purchased through an exchange like Matcha, like any other exchange, Uniswap exchange that's out there. So that's going to be something that's going to be super interesting to watch, to see if these tokens do migrate out of our ecosystem and into the secondary market, and how that gameplay is going to affect the progress or process of minting the additional teen bulls, merger orbs, and incubators within the project itself. So that's something that's going to be real fun to watch.
Thank you. That's a question that's came up a few times in the last few days in Discord, so I'm really happy that you answered it. Avienci asked to come and speak, and he just left the stage, but I don't know if you misclick. If you want to come back, request, and I will certainly bring you up. We had someone ask, will you be able to stake your bulls? I believe you may have answered this question last week, but...
Correct, yeah. There is no requirement for staking. The only thing is to hold your bull. That's it. You hold the bull in your wallet, you earn the tokens. You don't have to stake it. You don't have to give it up. You don't have to put it anywhere. You just hold it and you get your tokens. That's the great thing about this project.
Perfect. Thank you. And Avianci, you are back up. Perfect. Thanks.
Did we make it?
If oh, he's not ready. Type 3 civilized, you're up as well. You may go. Thank you.
Uh, 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 I am new to this Discord, so trying to understand everything. Um, so quick question around the main utility of this NFT. As I understand, uh, and I have been hearing about producing more and more rarer and rarer bulls, and I'm reading about card game. Is the main utility of this collection is to produce more NFTs, or it's a card game as it talks about? It's some kind of real game. Could you give a little bit of details around that game, card game?
So I don't have any strong details about the card game. It is in development. It will probably be out fourth quarter of this year. It'll be a in real life card game. It'll probably be a limited series, Founders Series card game, purchasable utilizing the MEF tokens within the project. But to answer your first question about the utility, the great thing about this project is our founders wanted to bring a project to this space that didn't just utilize the utility of minting additional bulls, which we do, or additional NFTs, but our ethos is live your best life. And part of that is bringing value to the project and to our holders and to our to the people that are holding the bulls themselves. And that can be many different things. And specifically, it's going to be built around in real life events and providing value through different things that the founders have access to. That could be financial access as far as investments. It could be marketing access. It could be a lot of different things. So what this project is doing is they're building a community that can also network besides building and producing the NFTs within the project itself. Hopefully that made sense.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, perfect.
In regards to the card game, Anthony compared it to something along the lines of Magic the Gathering.
Perfect. I don't play those card games, but thank you for that, Poco.
My pleasure. Avienci, we're going to give it another shot, bud.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Gotcha. How's it going?
Finally, I'm sorry about that. I was trying to talk on my phone, and I guess I wasn't having luck at the time. I hope you guys are doing great. I just wanted to ask about the guard balls, right? So you guys have set a monetary a methane value of 2x the regular tokens, right? Do you think that's going to play an important factor in determining the value of the guard balls, or do you think there'll be more utility added for the guard balls to help it become a distinguished subset of, bull tokens, and not only pegged to 2x the value? Because I've seen that happen in other projects.
So, I mean, of course, everything is speculative, right? I mean, and we're not putting a value to anything because the open market's going to establish what that value is. But if you just kind of look at the overall design of the God Bull and its rarity and the fact that it is minting twice the amount of tokens that the OG Bull is, my expectation is, of course, it's going to have a higher value. I mean, there's only 500 of them in the entire collection, comparative to the OG Bull of 10,000 and the Teen Bull of 9,000. So my expectation is, yeah, I would think that it would have a higher value. I mean, we don't know that for sure, but that would be my expectation.
No, and I agree. I think they should. But sometimes what I realize though is when a certain utility is added, people tend to consider that utility, and then based off of that utility, they will assess the value. So with projects where there is no tokens associated with it, those rarer tokens can skyrocket. But now that someone has that, oh, it's just worth 2x the value, you think that might be a hindrance? I guess that's my question.
When you're talking about 2x the value, you're talking about 2x the value of the tokens that are being dropped. You've got the factor of the rarity of it only having a count of 500. So that in itself is going to produce value. I don't know if you can assign a value just based on the tokens themselves. Tokens tokens are important, but in any NFT, rarity I think is even more important. And the fact that the God Bulls are the rarest of this collection, of this first collection, because the God Bulls are part of the OG collection with the 10,000 OG Bulls. I think the value, in my opinion, is going to be higher because of that rarity. I mean, there's value to the tokens, absolutely, and we don't know what that value is because we don't know what the token value is. Right now, the token value can only be compared to what the utility value is within the project. So we look at what the utility value is. It takes X number of tokens to mint an incubator. It takes X number of tokens to mint a merger orb. And once values start being established to those NFTs, I think you'll see a correlating value to the token, especially if the token is then sold on the secondary market outside of our project. Then we'll definitely have a value. You know, all it takes is somebody to go outside the project and see somebody selling 10,000 tokens and say, oh, I'll pay 1,000 for those, and then boom, you've established a 10-cent per token value. That's just an example. I think all of these factors are going to come into play. I don't think there's one thing that we can lean on that says, oh, this is what's going to set a value to these specific bulls. I think there's so many factors that are going to affect that. That's just where I'm at.
Yeah, I appreciate your response. I was just trying to play devil's advocate, but I am super bullish on this project. Let's just say I'm super bappish on this product. So let's go.
I appreciate it. No, thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you. And not to mention that the art, knowing Manny, the art will be even extra sexier for God Bulls, right?
Yeah, I mean, there is a sketch drawing of the God Bull in our tokenomics on the website. It looks pretty intense, if you ask me. I think it's really cool. So if what we've been seeing in the sneak peeks of our OG Bulls are any indication of what level of art we're going to have in what level of art we do have in the project, I can only imagine what the God Bulls are going to look like. And especially with there only being 500. It gives you a lot more time to work on the traits, the rarity traits, and the look, because you're not having to work on so many of them. I think they're going to be amazing. Manny hints at them. He hinted at it today, and when we were in a meeting, and he wouldn't show us. But his excitement on the other side of the screen was like a little kid at Christmas. So I'm super excited to see what they're going to look like. I can't wait.
Have you seen them? Or
no.
All right.
Yeah, I know. He teased us. He teased us in the meeting that we had, and I think he thought about it, but then it was like, no, I'm not going to show you. So yeah, he's teasing us as well.
And speaking of sneak peeks of bulls, the reveal this Friday for the upcoming bull will be quite interesting. Manny makes fun of me for saying that it's my favorite bull, but people will find out on Friday.
Yeah, and to talk about sneak peeks, I know it's not necessarily tokenomics, but there was kind of a sneak peek that was posted just a couple hours ago on our Twitter page, the bull with the glass horns. If nobody's had an opportunity to go and look at that sneak, or at least that close-up of that bull, it shows the detail in the art that the team is really putting into this project. I mean, when you look through the glass and you're looking at the fur behind the glass, and it has a slight magnification, which is what you would normally get when you're looking at something through glass, and you can actually see that in that bull's horns, I think it's off the charts. It's absolutely amazing. So if you haven't had a chance to, definitely go to the Bulls and Apes Twitter page and check it out. It's really, really cool.
And EJ just posted in general chat as well, so you can see it right away. It's ridiculous. I hope I get one of those little guys. And yeah, no, it's absolutely beautiful.
Cool.
We had a question. Someone wanted to know if there was a max limit of OG Bulls, Teen Bulls, God Bulls that you'd be able to have in one wallet.
No. I mean, if you've got enough OG Genesis Bulls to collect tokens and gobble everything up, there is no max limit. So it is what you can get. 10,000 of our OG Genesis Bulls, 9,000 teens, 500 gods, And then now 1,000 merger orbs is what the final count will be with this first mint.
Perfect. Thank you for answering that question. Type 3 Civilized asked to come back up. You're up, bud.
Thank you. I had one more question around tokenomics. I know you mentioned that when the tokens make way out in the out of your ecosystem, um, I have seen some collections where, and I'm just citing that as an example, where when the liquidity pool that whoever community members established was kind of very thin, and some people rushed to sell their tokens, therefore draining the liquidity and devaluating the token. And because of that, it kind of killed the motivation to mint more, or it kind of devalued the actual NFT. So I wanted to kind of ask, how are you guys planning to address such situation, or is there any plan to establish a liquidity pool, thick, very strong liquidity pool by yourself? I know probably by law you can't do it, but I have seen some other collections like Cool Cats doing it. I don't know how. But at the same, so that's my question. But at the same time, I was also reading in your roadmap about the guarantee, 6 months guarantee that holder cannot sell their bulls or any or tokens associated with it. So I'm a little bit confused about can people sell it, and if they kind of sell it heavily and devaluate the whole token system value, therefore NFT, how do you guys plan to protect it? That's
So
all.
there's two questions there. So let's answer the first one about the tokens and their value off of our platform. The token's a utility token for use within our ecosystem, and that's what its intent is. Its intent was not a security, and its intent was not to be sold on the secondary market. The only reason I brought it up is because it will most likely happen. Once those tokens go into somebody's wallet, of course, they're their tokens to do with what they wish. And if somebody wants to create a liquidity pool, put them out in the secondary market and sell them, that's their choice. The value, we're not distributing tokens in hopes to have a monetary value. The token's sole purpose is for utility within the game itself. So that answers that question. So we're not planning on trying to support or create a liquidity pool. There's only 560 million total supply, so there will not be any additional minted tokens. They're dropped via or they're dropped utilizing the game itself to the holders of the bulls. So there won't be any tokens that will be additionally minted to try to support or prop up a liquidity pool. Liquidity pools are going to be if they're out there, it's going to be all about the community doing it and has nothing to do with the project itself. So I think that answers that first question. Regarding the ETH back guarantee, and actually I want to expand on this a little bit because this was another change that we had just recently. So the ETH back guarantee is executable up to 6 months. From 31 days to 6 months, you can execute the ETH back guarantee by going to our website, clicking a button, answering a few questions. The bull transfers back to us, and the minted ETH goes then back to the person that minted it, and they can go on their way and do what they want to do. There's 2 requirements that we had. So the first requirement is that you do not utilize the tokenomics of the game once those tokens are available. So at day 31, when you are now able to collect your tokens, if you collect the tokens and put them in your wallet, that then voids your ability to execute the ETH back guarantee. So if you plan on potentially executing the ETH back guarantee, then the only thing you can do is hold the bull in your wallet to wait to see what it's going to do. Now, keep in mind that bull has still got tokens as long as it's in your wallet. And if you decide then later on to then get those tokens are yours. Now, if you move that bull after the 31 days, then the tokens that would have generated if you had them in your wallet up to that point is gone, and then the new person that would acquire it would then be getting those tokens daily. Now, as far as the second rule that we had, which was no transferring or selling of the NFT itself, We had a lot of community members come to us, and this is the great thing about this project is our founders listen to everybody. And one of the concerns was that a lot of us will use a hot wallet to mint our NFTs, and then we move them to cold wallet for safety. We don't keep them in our hot wallet. We're not going to keep them in just a MetaMask. We're going to move them to a hard wallet, a Ledger, Treasure, something of that nature. And there was concern that if somebody wanted to hold this and then execute the ETH back guarantee, that they would have to have this sitting in our hot wallet. We think we have a solution for that. It's being worked on right now. And I expect that within the next few days, they'll probably announce that solution to give an option for people to move that NFT, that bull, into a more secure wallet. And that'll be announced shortly. So that'll be one tweak that we've made to the requirements of being able to maintain your ability to get your ETH back. Okay, so that's it. The two rules: not selling it. The transfer thing is different, but not selling it and not utilizing the tokenomics of the game itself. And you can go ahead and execute the ETH back guarantee up to 6 months. Did that answer your questions?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you. All right. We have a few questions in general. Here's the first one. So if you're increasing merger orbs to make... Oh. Sorry about that. So if you're increasing merger orbs to make it so that people don't hoard them, how do you feel about the incubators? People might hoard and mint only those until they are gone before turning them into teens.
That's true. They could, but if they and that's part of the gameplay. But keep in mind, our goal with the merger orbs was because of the scarcity of the God Bulls. We did not want to give a large holder of bulls the opportunity to hoard those and limit the rest of the community's ability to get them. Now, when we're talking about the team bulls are only requiring 1,200 tokens, so it's a much shorter and shorter path to get to the team bull. That gives everybody an opportunity to do that. So yes, in theory, if you thought that there was a value to the incubator, you could buy an incubator and stick it in your wallet. Now, what is that value? Truly, the value is only minting a team bull. And after 2 years, that's the expiration, then the team bulls are all going to get minted anyway, and they're going to go back to our wallet. So it's in the best interest of the community to execute and mint the team bull from the incubator. There's no, from what I've seen and talking to the rest of the team members, there's really no long-term play in holding on to that, because you need the team bulls to get to the God bull. And if you're holding on to the incubator, what good is it going to do? And the fact is that we're burning 2,450 team bulls to acquire the God bulls. That's the burn. So there's so many more team bulls there, and incubators holding on to a few isn't going to impact everybody else's ability to get to the God bull. Hopefully that made sense.
It did. Thank you. All right, we have some tricky questions here in regards of the shapeshifter. I've never seen these questions. I hope you're ready for them. Can we pair the shapeshifter to any bull of any gill? Will it be compatible to mint an incubator?
That is a good question.
I know.
Okay, that's a good question. So you know what? I don't think that we've actually discussed that. I will bring that to the team and we'll have an answer for that. But that's a great question. Does it become kind of a universal, can do everything? And I guess that all depends on, well, let's think about this. Let's think it through. And I don't know the answer to this. We don't know when the creator is going to show himself or herself. So I guess that all depends on how fast we get to the God Bulls. But once it's minted and once it discloses itself, it's be very interesting kind of effect it's going to have on the game, how it'll be affected, how the ability to mint an orb, to mint an incubator. So that's a great question. I'm going to dig into that. I'm writing a note right now so we can maybe get that answered.
Yep, I've never heard that question, and it's a good one.
This is why I love this space, because then we're digging into the game, and that's what we want to do.
Oh, and the good news is that we have another question in regards of the shapeshifter's super breeding skills. Does it being the shapeshifter have an unlimited number of breed count or min count for the incubators?
Okay.
As our OG bulls have 3 bulls, would the shapeshifter be a super breeding bull? And would he be able to make as many teen bulls as he can make? I'm
Right.
assuming that's what the question is.
And is he the guild question, I think, is the perfect question. You know, if he's the creator, is he assigning himself to a specific guild? That's a great question. Okay, cool. I have written it down, and I will get some answers.
That was definitely a good question. In general, I think you've answered it, but I will ask you again. Is there any value of holding teen bulls outside of turning into a merger orb or a god bull?
So the teen bulls are a collection of themselves. So they're going to have their own rarity traits. They're going to have, I would expect, their own value even after their utility has been completed within the game. So when we're all said and done, we're going to have 9,000 teen bulls, and I would think that they're going to have a value just as the way they are. Now, are they going to have an impact in the future lore and storyline of our universe that we're creating? I would say never. We don't know. The game is developing as we speak. We know that we have a Mint 2. And we know that that's the arrival of the apes. And the founders have definitely said there is a Mint 3 and additional characters that are going to be introduced into our universe. So I would say that you should never count anything out that's being collected in this project. I guess that's the best way I can say it.
Thank you. So I think we've answered all the questions in voice chat in general. We'll give you one more chance to come up on stage and ask a question, or if you'd like to ask in general. With that said, I'd like to just make a reminder that we are not minting on Friday. You will not receive any DMs from us. We will only be announcing the mint via the founders. They will be making videos. Anthony, Guy, Manny, they will post videos on Twitter. They will let everyone know that when the official date is. Do not trust anyone sending you DMs saying that there is a mint that's ongoing. That's not true. Stick to our Discord, our official links, and our Twitter handle.
Yeah, definitely look out for those scam DMs that take you to different pages saying that there's an exclusive mint. There's quite a few of them out there. So please, for everybody that's in the room, spread the word to anybody you know. That's something that we're worried about, and we want to make sure that we're protecting the community as best we can.
Thank you, Tank. Michael asked to come up, and you are up.
Michael, how you doing, sir? You there?
You're on mute. Oh. Digital data, is this talk recorded? Yes, this talk is recorded. We have the cheese recording it as we speak.
Perfect. Yeah, I had that question from a couple people, so thank you for bringing that up, Poke.
My pleasure. Maybe we should have announced it before, but a lot of people wanted to listen to your Tokenomics Tuesdays with Tank, and in Europe right now it's in the middle of the night, so this is gonna be cool. I'll be listening to it all day tomorrow.
Okay, finally I figured out how to unmute. Sorry about that.
No worries, Michael. How's it going, man?
It was just a Chrome stupid thing. So can you just do a quick summary of like what changed tokenomic wise? I missed some of the opening of your dialogue.
Yes.
Thank you.
So the major change in the tokenomics is the introduction of 1,000 additional merger orbs. So what we found in the game itself was by only having 490 merger orbs, which equaled the same amount of God Bulls to be minted, and the fact that you only needed a Teen Bull and 2,400 tokens, which would be a total of 3,600 tokens, somebody that had a large quantity of bulls could actually just start collecting the merger orbs. And if they collected the merger orbs, they would lock up the god bulls. They would have a guaranteed god bull. They could collect 20 merger orbs by utilizing less tokens and thus have a guarantee of those god bulls eventually sometime in the future. So what we did to combat that was we introduced 1,000 additional merger orbs. So that way there is no guarantee of holding an orb. You can hold it, but you know that there's more orbs out there than what we have God. So it'll entice the people that are getting the merger orbs to execute the entire game and mint the God Bull so they don't lose that opportunity.
Got it. And you just need to update the site to say that then. It looks like it still says 490. That's probably only.
I actually am looking at it right now, and are you looking at it now because we've updated it? It's 12,450 team bulls, and I'll look again, but I see here merger orbs. It says 1,450 merger orbs is what our total merger orbs are.
Okay, maybe it's just a cached version I'm looking at.
It could be, yeah, because I'm looking at it right here. Guy and I actually did this right before I got on this AMA. So
perfect.
And then also too, Michael, I don't know if you heard, but there was a question about the additional 1,000 merger orbs that are going to be in the collection. And one of the things I said was those merger orbs could very well be utilized sometime in the future. So I would not put it past this project to then take these 1,000 and have something could be cool. So, everything is used in this collection. That's one of the amazing things about it.
I will tell you that I just loaded the page in an incognito window, and under merger orbs section, it still says there's a maximum of 490 total merger orbs. So maybe it's more than one location on the page. Just FYI, you might want to
And was that in the tokenomics or the FAQ?
It's in the tokenomics page.
Perfect. I will get on it and we will take a look to see if it got updated. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you. A question I believe that's been answered before is the first 30 days known as the grazing period. If you buy a bull from someone, will the tokens during the grazing period be transferred to the new owner?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Only the first 30 days, right?
As long as it's within that first 30 days. So if we end up having flippers that come in and acquire bulls and they want to put them on the secondary, as long as you acquire it before day 31, then when you go to execute it within on the website, you will earn those tokens that have been collected up to that point. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you. We have one more question. What will happen if we don't transfer or use the teen bulls? It could be rare because it will be burned. What if I don't burn it? I think he's saying that after 2 years, the teen bulls will be burnt.
No. So I think what he's asking is if he doesn't utilize the teen bulls that he mints in the function of burning to acquire the merger orb and then the god bull, what's going to happen with it? So nothing. It's still going to be a collectible NFT. Keep in mind that there's a total of 12,450 teen bulls. Once all the bulls are burned that are required to obtain the god bulls, we'll have a collection of 9,000. So if somebody collects a teen bull and they're like, man, I really like this teen bull, you don't have to burn it. It can become part of the permanent collection of the 9,000 permanent collection. So there is no requirement to burn the teen bull. Only those that want to advance the game and try to get the god bull.
So you can keep your teen bull forever?
You can keep it forever, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and that's my plan. I mean, I'm hoping that I find some teen bulls through my process. I don't want to burn them all. I'd love to have some really cool teen bulls to add to my collection. Why
Great
not?
question.
We're acquiring them through the tokenomics. That's the great thing. You're acquiring them through the tokenomics. It's an NFT within the NFT. I think it's an amazing thing to get an additional asset, through the gameplay itself.
Yeah, if you want to make a full set, having maybe more than one OG bull, but let's say you want to have 10 OG bulls, one teen bull, and one god bull. Make the full set.
Yeah, or if you want to have more, maybe you want a teen bull from every guild, because who knows? In this game, we don't know what other surprises are around the corner. So maybe there's a benefit to holding a teen bull from every guild. I mean, who knows? We don't know at this point. There could be so many surprises out there. So that's, I think, going to be the interesting thing about the tokenomics of this project, is not knowing what's around the corner, because things are being developed and thrown at us constantly as this project moves forward. Like the thing with the creator, the shapeshifter. I think that's a great idea, and I don't think we explain that. So I'll explain that real quick about what the creator and shapeshifter is. So in the lore, you have a shapeshifter creator that has created this universe of bulls. And in that, the creator has created 9,999 bulls. After the creation of those bulls, the creator decided, I want to be a bull as well and roam free amongst all these other bulls. So they made themselves into another bull, the 10,000th bull. So amongst all the bulls, we have a creator, and we don't know who that creator is. Who knows? What we do know is most likely the creator is a common bull. It's something that's not unique. It's going to be a bull that probably has a common traits. It may not be super special. It's a commoner, because that's the way that the bull wants to live. But eventually, sometime in the near future, the creator decides that it wants to go ahead and show itself. So when it shows itself, it's going to be the only one of one in our entire collection. So we're going to have 9,999 OG Genesis bulls. We'll have 9,000 teen bulls. We'll have 500 god bulls. We'll have 1,000 merger orbs, and we're going to have one of one creator. And I think that's the exciting thing. And that helps the entire community, because who knows who has that? Could you imagine minting 10 OG bulls and then deciding, I'm going to sell 5 of them, and then one of those that you sold ends up being the creator? How crushing would that be? So I think that brings an interesting dynamic to the project, because it's going to make people really think, do I want to sell this floor bull when maybe a floor bull could become the creator? And it's going to be fun to watch. All right. Any other questions?
Hello. How's it going?
Good, Mountain Man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Love the project. Love the enthusiasm. Thank you so much for everything. I just have a question. So whenever we mentor bulls, you start receiving meth tokens from the first day. So you're gonna keep on stacking them as long as you hold them. Will the tokens be sent to the minting wallet? And if so, what happens if you transfer your bulls to cold wallet? Do we just open a ticket and tell you which wallet our bulls are in, so we can receive the meth tokens in that cold wallet, or how would that work?
Okay, so that's still being worked out. I can tell you that transfer, the contract, there's a process that's going to happen to ensure that that the wallets are identified when we determine exactly how that's going to happen. So to answer your question, when you execute, the system's going to know which wallet your bull is in, and that's where your tokens will go.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. That's all I have.
Perfect.
Thank you,
Have a good
Mountain Man. Night. This is a question in regards of the ape bulls. We know that there will be teen bulls for the bulls, but will there be teen apes?
So I think they meant god bulls, right?
No, because our OG bulls will be able to create meth, and with an incubator you'll get a teen bull. But will there be ape teens?
Oh, 8 teens.
Yes.
I don't know. That's a good question. That's all I can say. That's a great question.
But you kind of chuckled. Does that mean you know something?
I don't know anything. I'll plead the fifth. I don't. To be honest, there's always a lot of discussions around the gamification of this project and a lot of things out there. But until the founders make a final decision, everything is possible. That's all I can say. And that's what's exciting about this project. So I'll make another comment. The founders have surrounded themselves with a pretty amazing team, and the input and collaboration is really amazing around this project. So that process of delivering something amazing to our community is really a collaborative effort. And they listen to what the community is saying, they listen to what their core team is saying, and that's how this project develops. And that's how, even up to these last few weeks before our mint, there's tweaks and changes that are being made to make sure the project is the best it can be. And I think that's what's really, really great about this project and about our founders is they're running a business. And when you run a business, you listen to the smart people in the room, and they are definitely surrounding themselves with very smart people. So that being said, I think anything is possible. And if you have an imagination and you can think of it, I'm sure that the founders have thought of it and the team has thought of it. But we also have an amazing suggestion box in our Discord. So if you think you have a great idea of something that would be amazing, throw it in the suggestion box. We read these. Poker reads them, I read them. And if we see something, we'll definitely forward it to the team. There's always some great ideas in there. So we have our ears open for everything.
100%. Guy reads them every single day, and that's a fact. Question: when will the creator bull be revealed? After grazing period, or another date?
It's going to be after the grazing period. I can definitely say that. As far as how far out into the future, that's to be determined still.
Perfect. Thank you. I think a lot of people want to know when the shapeshifter will reveal himself, but
so
not yet.
Not yet. One thing I want to bring up about the tokens, and I don't think the question was asked, but I want to make it clear. Within the first 30 days, if you sell your bull or a bull is sold, the tokens will move with the bull. But at day 31, when it's time to transfer those tokens and bring them into your wallet, once those tokens are in your wallet and you transfer the bull, you keep the tokens. So if you hold a bull for 2 months and you're collecting tokens the whole time and decide now you want to sell that bull, you still get to keep those tokens. Those tokens are yours to use however you want. The bull moves. When it goes to the new wallet, it then begins to generate tokens in the new wallet wherever it goes. So that's just something else to think about.
Perfect. Thank you. We don't have any more questions in the stage channel. Nope. We don't have any more questions in general. You've addressed them all.
And we're right about an hour.
Sorry. I got one more for you. How many tokens per day will the shapeshifter create after it reveals itself, of course?
Yeah, and you know what? That was one of the questions I think that was in that bulk question, and I don't know. It's a common bull. It's going to guarantee to collect 10 per day. I don't know if there's a plan to change that. I would hold on the 10 per day right now, and then who knows if there's a surprise, maybe that'll be disclosed at a later date.
Okay, thank you very much. Last reminder, we will not be DMing you. We are not minting on Friday, April 29th. There will be no surprise mint. I would suggest to close your DMs. I cannot tell you to close them, but I highly recommend to close them. There's no surprise mints. You will hear from the founders in regards of when the date for the actual mint will be. It will be announced via video from all three founders. It will be on Twitter. It will be on Discord. Just want to make that clear one more time.
Perfect. Great. I guess if we don't have any more questions, we'll wrap things up. Next week, we'll do this again. It may be the same information unless something changes. But please, anybody in this room that's been thinking about the gamification and the tokenomics, come back and let's talk a little bit more in depth. If you've got questions, I love them. I like to get thrown a curveball. It makes us think about the project even more. It helps us to also start planning for this project as we get into mint. It's going to be the exciting part. So thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming. It's been a pleasure having you in the room.
Thank you, everyone. And don't forget, we have happy hour on Fridays. We get together in the voice channel. Some of us get on video. It's really fun. Everyone just gets to talk, and it's no pressure. and I'll make an announcement about it in tomorrow or Thursday. Have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.